Hello everyone and welcome back to another island tour, and this island tour is specifically very exciting because it is my island. I made this. I am so happy to share this island with you. This is my Nordic fairy tale and folklore island Huldra, and it's inspired by a bunch of different things that I'm gonna show you and explain to you as we go along. It's gonna be great. I am so excited. I have been working on this island for about half a year, and it's nice to finally finish it and move on to some new and exciting projects. But overall, this island is very close to my heart because, as most of you know, I am Norwegian myself, which is why I chose to do this theme, and I want to share some of my culture and everything with all of you guys. First off, I'm just gonna give you a little peek here at my flag, which is not that exciting, but I made it, so that's exciting for me. So I made a Scandinavian-inspired flag, but with some colors that I thought were cute for the island. And then let's take a look at the map. As you can see here, there is a lot of terraforming and stuff going on. And honestly, my map is not the best looking one. It looks a bit weird, especially the empty area in the middle there, but it's gonna look great, okay? I swear. And for most of my villagers, I have them to be related to some of the fairy tales that we are going to be visiting, except for Antonio because he never wanted to move out, so just ignore his existence in general, please. I don't want him here. And then we are here at the entrance, which is the first thing I built. So I wanted this to be a seter, which is a Norwegian mountain farm. And I also made a bunch of potato plants here because I feel like potato is the most Norwegian vegetable I could think of, so I thought it was very cute to put those here. I also decided to not upgrade Nook's Cranny because I thought the blue roof just really fitted with the colors I wanted to use for the island. And then we can take a quick look here at the beach, which is nothing too excited, but it is decorated, so I am very happy that I've decorated every part of the island eventually. Then we move up here to one of my favorite builds, which is this church that I made. Let me give you a good look of that. And I really wanted to make a church because that is, or has been, very important in Nordic history, and a lot of the fairy tales are actually somewhat related to some Christian stuff, which I'm gonna get into in a bit, but overall I think this build looks super cool. I haven't made that many perspective builds and buildings like that, so I am very happy with how that turned out. And here we just have a little bit of a transition area. We also have Patty here enjoying the flowers. And now we're gonna go up here, which is one of my favorite builds, which you will see very soon. First off, we have Able Sisters here, which I turned into a little apple farm. And if you go over here, we're gonna get to a very amazing spot. I think this is my favorite build on the island. This is the swamp that I made mainly for Nøkken, which is supposed to be living in the house over there. So he is a water spirit that can conceal himself as a white horse to try to trick people to go into his swamp, and then he will drown them. So we will take a look at that later on. Here is resident services. And if you are going to be visiting the dream address, which I very much hope you do, I will most likely leave some gifts for you in this area over here. It's always nice to find a present. So here we can actually go into the swamp and see everything. And as you can see here, I have made this little book thingy here. Let me open the book in my own hand. There we go. And at every place I have placed one of these open books. That means that the build is directly inspired by one of the fairy tales. So this is Colton's house, which is the white horse. So that's why I thought it was very cool to have him here and kind of be Nøkken for this fairy tale. And then we will get over to the beach there on the other side eventually. Honestly, my island is a bit complicated to walk through, but I feel like it's still very nice if you want to explore like I do. Then we go up here to our magical forest, and it's divided into 3 parts per se, so let's take a look into the red mushroom forest first. It's very dense, but I really like it. I am very happy about this. Down here I've just decorated the rocks a little bit, and I thought it was very cute to kind of include this rock piece in the build here, which is mainly why I made this incline here. Up here we have the campsite, which is just a campsite experience, nothing too special there. And you can also go over here to see a little laundry area, just for the cuteness. And actually, let's just walk around here to find the beach on the other side. You will also find a ladder and everything in the gifts I will leave you, because you are going to need it if you want to explore every part of this island. And here I just made a cute little pond, because I really like making ponds and terraforming and waterscaping in general. And just some little beach decorating, because you can never have enough of that. And then we're gonna head back to look at the rest of the forest. When we come back, we can take a little look in here, where I made a fairy village, which I think is super cute, and I'm so happy that someone told me on stream that you could use custom designs and make these little fairies, because this is just adorable. I love those so much. I'm also sorry if there's a bit of background noise. I don't know why my roommate is making this much noise in the middle of the day anyway. If we walk in here to the second part of the forest, we get to another fairy tale. As you can see here by the book, and this is Skogsroa, and she's this legend of a beautiful woman with black hair that comes into different cities and lure men and flirts with them, and then she convinced them to follow her into the forest, and then they just simply never return. Which is a bit ominous, but very fitting for the theme. And the reason why I use this statue is because she is often represented by having these giant horns, and also a cow's tail, which is very common for a lot of different things. At least in Norse mythology. When we continue over here, we get into our neighborhood, which is a Birch neighborhood, and I thought this idea was very, like, I liked my own idea, okay, but I thought this was cute, because then I could use all of the light wood and birch stuff when you customize things, and also use the different houses with those colors, and I think it looks cool. I've seen a lot of builds using birch wood in modded islands, but I'm very happy that I managed to do this on a regular Switch. And this is, I would say, the coziest area on the island. Nothing scary is happening here, it's just a cute little neighborhood. And I also really like that I could use the white inclines to match everything. And if we take a look over here, we will see, of course, the rest of the houses. And also a little fountain. And you can go over here, and then you're back at resident services. So there are different paths you can take here to explore the island. And you can also go back up here. And then you'll get to the area with the swamp. Let's just go back here and continue. And for those of you who are wondering, the island name Huldra is also based on one of the Norse mythologies, and Huldra is represented as this very beautiful woman, but she has a secret, and that is that she has a cow's tail. And as long as you don't see the cow's tail, it's fine, but once you see it, you are gonna be trapped with her forever. There are a bunch of different stories about her doing different things, and also just being a Huldr in general is like being this mythical kinds of people, and Huldra is just the female version of that. And overall I think it's very interesting, so if you need some interesting mythology to read about, I would suggest looking up Huldra, because I think there's just so many interesting things to learn. Here I made a little rock circle, and if you have watched my previous streams, you will know that this rock circle was a bit of a struggle to make. We had a lot of issues with this, so we had to end with using the garden rocks instead. But it looks cute, and this is kinda a little bit of a demonic offering circle, and because of that I added this little this little children's basket here, because there has been some satanic rituals and stuff where you offer children. I'm not gonna get into that, but that's just a little creepy fact there for all of you to know. And before we continue on, we are gonna see another fairy tale over here at this little rocky waterfall I made. So this is the fairy tale for Fossegrim, and that is another forest spirit or a water spirit, and they are known for playing a very beautiful music on their fiddle. And if the Fossegrim is in a bad mood, they could use the music to lure you and hypnotize you, but overall if they're in a good mood, they can do good things to you and do trades and stuff like that. If you want more details on all of the different fairy tales and stuff, I explain them better in my speed builds. Overall, I would say. Here is my secret beach, where I just added this little chest of gold here and a little sword in the map, because I just thought it looked cute. I didn't know what to do here. I'm not good at decorating the beaches, so we just have to do what we can. And now that we're here, we are entering another neighborhood, and this one is a bit more sinister. Let me just grab my book again. And here I made a abandoned little village, or another satyr, which you all know now means mountain farm. And this is supposed to represent Pesta. And Pesta is literally the representation of the Black Death in Norse mythology. It was said that if you saw an old woman holding a rake watching your town, that meant that death was coming and that no one would survive. Because if you didn't know, during the Black Death, about 2/3 of the Norwegian population died because everyone was quite poor and didn't know how to handle the disease, so it was always a very bad sign to see her. But that's why I added the rake here, to give a little nod to that. And you can also see Antonio's house up here. Kinda, almost. I guess I need to climb up again. Now we can see Antonio's house. So, Antonio is not supposed to be here, but at least I decorated his house to look cute and fit the theme and everything. And if we go in here, we can go to the waterfall just to take a little closer look if you're interested, and you can also see the violin here. So overall, I'm very happy with this waterfall. Then we're gonna continue this way. I really hope I'm not missing anything, because this island is so... it just feels very big and there's so much things you can go and look at, honestly. But here is just a little transition area in the valley, and we're gonna go up to the top of the mountain, and I'm gonna show you what I've made here, because I think it's super cool, and I hope you guys do as well. First we gotta get through the beaches. And here I made a little diagonal meadow, or a big meadow, I would say. It's huge. And I use these flowers because that's a lot of the colors I've seen when I'm hiking in the mountains, which are these yellow, purple, and white flowers. And overall on my island I use the colors blue and purple and green and black, so the yellows here are just a little something different, and I think it's a cute touch. here on the beach I made some abandoned farms, which I think are very cute, but not that special. And now I'm stuck. Great. And I made another one over here, so nothing too exciting on the beach, as I've said. We also have Bladder's tent here, which I of course kept as a tent because I love the tent. I don't think the big museum would even fit in with my island. So let's take a look up here at the mountain, and I used so much time to put all of these rocks here because, oh my god, I needed so many rocks to make this, but I hope like the rock illusion came across, that people understand that this is a mountain. And here we have another fairy tale book, so let's see what we find over here. As you can see in the distance here, there is a little troll. You can kind of see his eyes and a big smile at the bottom, so this is supposed to be a mountain troll, obviously. And in Norse mythology, it is thought that when the trolls are touched by sunlight, they turn into rocks. So it's believed that some of the big mountains actually are trolls just being asleep due to the sunlight. And as I talked about, that the church would be a part of the lore here, and that's because trolls are also known to be able to smell Christian people's blood, and they don't like that, so they want to eat all the Christian people. So if you're a Christian, you might want to look out for the trolls here, because they might be a little dangerous, you know? Then we can just take a short look over here to see where the path goes. And then we get back to the neighborhood, and you get a very, very nice little lookout of the area here. I am very happy with how this neighborhood turned out. But let's go back. We don't have that much left, actually. I also added a lot of these gnomes just to give the little fairy tale vibes, which we can never have enough of. And then we don't have to walk far until we run into another fairy tale, which is the bridge here. And this area is inspired by the three goats Goref. So you can see one goat over here, one over here, and then the last one over here. And under the bridge there is supposed to be a troll living, so I thought this little cave kind of could represent that troll living under the bridge. And when I was making this, I was actually considering having this be a neighborhood instead and have 3 goat villagers move in, but it turned out to be a little bit difficult, and I was more interested in having this little double bridge moment here. So we ended up with the little zodiac rocking chairs instead, and I think it's really cute. I'm happy with how it turned out. And when we go over here, we get to our final fairy tale. And this is the Nattmare cottage, and as you might understand, Nattmare means a nightmare, so it's believed that it's this creature that comes and attacks you while you're sleeping, and that's why you have bad dreams. And it's very creepy, so I wanted to make this cottage feel a bit abandoned and left behind because the Nattmare did her work, and maybe the people who owned the cottage never returned, you know? This is also my first time trying to build this house situation where you kind of can walk inside here, and it's a bit weird, this build, but I think it looks cute. I also tried to make it looks like sort of a roof. Either way, I'm happy with how it turned out. Then I just decorated the beaches here to kind of fit the vibe that was going on the island. And some more little ponds, because you know I love little ponds. And then we are back at the entrance, actually. I feel like we went through the island very fast, even though there were so many things to look at. But yeah, that is Huldra. this is going to be my final video from Huldra because the island is finished, so we got to do something new and start with a new island. If you have been here from the start of making this island, I am so happy to see that you are still here, and I hope you are excited to start a new island with us. I hope the new one is gonna be just as fun to make as this one, and it's a bit bittersweet to say goodbye to Huldra because I've spent so much time on it and I really love the theme and the different ideas behind the builds, so we're all a bit sad, but we're gonna get through this, okay? Thank you so much for being here until the end of the video, and thank you so much for just being an amazing person in general. If you are new here, please subscribe if you haven't already, and please like the video if you liked it so I know that you liked it and I can continue to make more videos that you like in the future. We also just unlocked the YouTube partnership perks on this channel, so I have also opened for memberships now and stuff like that, so if you really want to support the channel, it's also possible to become a member now, which I think is super exciting. Well, I think that's everything I have to say for this video, so I hope you have an amazing day, take care, and bye!